Hello Rebels, today I'm going to be talking to you about what if Anakin never turned to the dark side. Now this what if starts at the point to where Anakin is confronting Palpatine, so let's jump right in. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi. Learn to know the dark side of the Force and you will be able to save your wife from certain death. Anakin couldn't believe what he had just heard come from Palpatine's lips. He knew that Palpatine was an intelligent person, but he didn't know that he had a knowledge of the Force, much less the dark side. What did you say? Palpatine pled with Anakin one more time to join him so that he could gain the power necessary to save Padme. So it was confirmed again for him. Palpatine was the Sith Lord they have been looking for. Anakin ignited his saber in front of Palpatine. Are you going to kill me? I would certainly like to. Palpatine could feel anger and hate emanating off Anakin. After all, he was the one human that had caused the galaxy so much trouble. Anakin, struggling with the decision he must make, knows that he must act swiftly and correctly. Anakin made the decision to turn Palpatine over to the Jedi Council. It was the right decision in the moment, and Anakin hoped it was the correct one. Palpatine acknowledged the decision that Anakin made, but urged him one last time to use the dark side to save Padme. Anakin left with his head still reeling, not truly believing what he had heard. On his way to meet with the Jedi Council, Anakin came to understand that they were all pawns of a bigger plan. Palpatine had gained power and orchestrated everything very well to keep his intentions a secret. Anakin thought about what he had said about Padme. Did Palpatine truly have the power and ability to keep people from dying? Suddenly, Anakin got an uneasy feeling in his stomach. His mind turned to Padme. He feared that something must be wrong, so he set off to their apartment. Padme! Anakin yelled as he entered the apartment. Padme emerged from around the corner. Anakin looked at her. He could see that nothing was physically wrong, but he still felt uneasy. Padme could see the distress in Anakin's face. She asked him to sit down and tell her what was making him so upset. Anakin was reluctant to tell her by fear that by saying what he was thinking, it would come true and something bad would happen. Padme, being more stern, while still being loving, asked Anakin to spit out whatever he wanted to say. Anakin, still reluctant, opened his mouth. Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Padme was shocked. The man that has been her friend and by her side on the council was a Sith Lord? Are you sure? He told me himself. He also said that with the power of the dark side, I can save you from dying. Save me from dying? But Anakin, I'm not dying. I'm not even sick. Not now, but I've had some premonitions through the Force, and I've seen in my dreams that you will die during childbirth. Did you tell Palpatine about these dreams? No, I have kept our relationship a secret from everyone. Well then, if you didn't tell him about your dreams, then how would he know I was going to die? If he is a Sith Lord and knew about your dreams without you telling him, then isn't it possible that he put those dreams in your head? It was as if a fog had been lifted from his eyes. It all made sense now. How did Palpatine know about Padme, her pregnancy, and her possible death? He must be skilled in the dark side to have stayed hidden this long, and so it makes sense that he would put these dreams inside his head and cloud his judgment. Thanks to Padme, Anakin's resolve to turn Palpatine in was stronger than ever. He didn't fear that anymore, and he must tell the council. Before he left, Anakin had to ask a favor of Padme. Padme, go to the Senate and request that they meet with you about the Chancellor. We have to remove him from office. Do what you must to get them to talk with you about this. At the very least, get them to doubt their leader enough to vote him out. Padme, seeing the renewed life and drive in his eyes, agreed to what Anakin had requested of her. With a plan underway, it was now time for Anakin to get the council involved. Anakin rushed over to the Jedi Temple as quickly as he could. He knew that not all the masters were present, but he hoped that enough would be there to assist him. Anakin threw the doors open as he walked into the council room, interrupting the meeting in the process. Anakin, what are you doing? Called out Kenobi by hologram. Masters, I have something urgent that I must tell you all. Mace Windu motioned for Anakin to continue. Anakin relayed what Palpatine had told him. The council had suspected that Palpatine was being influenced in some way. Now, however, their worst fears had been realized. Anakin continued to tell them that he had a plan set in motion with Padme and the Senate. You've made the right choice, Anakin. Obi-Wan cut in. Skywalker, you and I, along with the rest of the council that is here, will go and arrest the Chancellor. Obi-Wan asked for Anakin to hang back a moment while he told him how proud he was of him. He told Anakin that Grievous was dead and that he must tell Padme this if she is to have any success with the Senate. Just outside the council room, Anakin called Padme. She explained that the Senate needs a reason to meet and discuss stripping the Chancellor of his power. Anakin told Padme to tell them that Kenobi has killed Grievous, and for that reason the war is now over and the Chancellor doesn't need to have complete power. Anakin, Mace, and the rest of the council made their way to the Chancellor's office. They arrived to find Palpatine sitting in his chair with his back to them. Ah, I see you've brought some friends. Palpatine said, turning his chair to face Anakin and the council. "It's over, Chancellor. Your rule has come to an end," remarked Windu. "It's treason, then." Suddenly, Palpatine drew his saber and jumped over his desk, flipping end over end towards the Jedi. Palpatine landed and quickly cut down the other members of the council. Now only Windu and Anakin were left to face the Sith Lord. Palpatine made one last attempt to sway Anakin with the promise of the power he needs to save the ones closest to him. Anakin brushed off the comment, saying that he sees through his lies. Palpatine, now having no other option, turned upon Anakin. Palpatine used all his strength to push Anakin back to give him room to escape. Anakin matched Palpatine blow for blow, trying to hold his own footing. Anakin could feel the power radiating off Palpatine. He knew instantly that Palpatine could rival Windu and even Master Yoda. Palpatine began to notice he was driving Anakin back, and that now was his chance. With one quick movement, he thrust his saber at Anakin, who jumped backward to evade the attack. That was it. There was enough space now for Palpatine to dash for the door. As Palpatine reached the doorway, a deep violet blade blocked his path. Windu emerged from the doorway, ready to push the Chancellor back. Palpatine, bringing his saber up, began to strike out violently at Windu. Without breaking a sweat, Windu parried each strike. Windu began to move now, pushing Palpatine back towards the window. Upon reaching the window, and with one swift movement, Windu disarmed the Chancellor. Realizing that his escape was improbable, Palpatine let out his strongest Sith lightning he could muster. In that split second, Windu blocked the lightning with his saber. Palpatine was furious and intent on escaping one way or another. Palpatine intensified his lightning at Windu, and it began to force Windu to his knees. Just as it seemed that Palpatine was about to gain the upper hand against Windu, a blade appeared right at the Chancellor's throat. "It's over. You're finished." Palpatine stopped his Sith lightning. He could see the resolve in Anakin's eyes. He has truly been won over by the Jedi. Still, he did have to try and get out of his situation. "That's where you're wrong. My time may have come, but my cause will live on." Before the Chancellor knew it, and with one quick flick of his wrist, Anakin separated Palpatine's head from his body. It was finally done. The Sith were no more. Now Anakin was free of the weight that had been placed upon him by Palpatine. Mace and Anakin both left the Chancellor's office. Upon leaving, the two of them ran into Padme. She began to explain how the Senate, after voting out Palpatine, gave her emergency power as the interim Chancellor. Anakin was so excited for her that he hugged her out of reflex, forgetting that Mace was there. Mace cleared his throat and congratulated Padme on being appointed to her new office. Mace then turned to face both of them and proceeded to congratulate them on their unborn children. Shocked, Anakin couldn't believe the reaction from Mace. Anakin began asking Windu how long he has known about their relationship. Windu conveyed that Obi-Wan has had his suspicions and let him and Master Yoda know just before his mission to Utapau. Having been with Anakin and watching his greeting with Padme and seeing her with child, all but confirmed what Obi-Wan brought to his attention. Mace continued to let them know that although this relationship was forbidden, they have no need to keep it a secret anymore. He also added that the children would be raised within the Order to help establish and replenish the lives lost in this war. On top of that, Mace added that Anakin would help train and guide his children as a newly appointed master on the council. Anakin couldn't believe what Master Windu had just done for him. All his life, he had been someone who has given Anakin the hardest time. Now he was being gracious and supportive of Anakin. Before he had the time to change his mind, Anakin thanked Master Windu, grabbed Padme, and the two of them headed home. A few days passed, and the time came for Padme to give birth. Anakin and Obi-Wan waited to see if they could be of assistance and what the outcome of Padme's labor would be. Padme gave birth to Luke and Leia without complication, and once again, reaffirming to Anakin that his dreams were of the dark side. With the birth of his children behind him, Anakin spent the next several years teaching his children the ways of the Force. He knew that Palpatine was right. Although he was gone, the threat of the dark side and the Sith could always come back at any point. For this very reason, Anakin prepared his kids every day and every way he knew possible. They would have to be ready for when that day would come, but for now, it was peaceful. Anakin had brought balance to the Force. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. I hope to see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you, always.